Today, we're going to talk about one of the most stressful parts of investing, but we're going to look at it through a completely new lens. We're going to explore this idea that a drop in your portfolio isn't some disaster to be feared. It's actually a workout.
So let me ask you, and be honest. You pull up your phone, open your investing app, and boom, it's a sea of red. Everything's down. What's that first gut punch feeling that hits you? For most of us, it's not great. In fact, it's usually a cocktail of these four things, right? There's that jolt of pure panic. Then comes the fear of how much more you could lose. Then the regret starts to creep in. Why did I ever buy that? And it's all wrapped up in this heavy cloud of doubt about your entire strategy. It's a totally normal and honestly a pretty painful experience. But what if we could flip the script on that whole experience? What if, instead of seeing it as a financial punch to the gut, we saw it as an opportunity? It's time for a whole new perspective.
And this is the core idea right here. This is the big takeaway for our entire explainer. Let this sink in for a second. A drop in your portfolio is a psychological workout. It's not just something that happens to you. It's an active opportunity to train your mind.
So what on earth do we mean by a psychological workout? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. It's consciously deciding to use these downturns, these moments of maximum stress, as your own personal training ground. It's about strengthening your emotional self-control and your rational brain, right at the moment they're being tested the most.
Okay, so if a market drop is our gym, what are the actual exercises? Let's break down the mental routine you're supposed to do.
It all comes down to 3 core mental exercises. First up, practice staying calm. This is your foundation, just taking a deep breath instead of reacting. Second, re-examine your initial thesis. This is like checking your form. Why did you buy this in the first place? Is that reason still valid? And third, train long-term thinking. This is your endurance work, forcing yourself to zoom out past today's scary headlines.
And this slide really shows you the before and after. On the left, you have that raw emotional reaction, to panic sell, to blame everything and everyone, and to just fixate on the loss. But on the right, you have the trained response. Instead of panic selling, you pause and assess. Instead of blaming the market, you review your own strategy. And here's the biggest shift. Your focus moves from the pain of the loss to the potential of an opportunity.
So why even bother with all this mental heavy lifting? Well, like any good workout, the real benefits show up over time. It's all about the mental muscles you build.
You see, every time you go through one of these workouts during a downturn, you're literally getting stronger. You're building emotional resilience, so the next dip doesn't freak you out as much. Your ability to make clear-headed decisions when everyone else is panicking goes way up. You build real, battle-tested conviction in your strategy. And maybe best of all, the whole process of investing just becomes a lot less stressful.
And this is what that resilient investor really looks like when you break it down. You'll notice it's built on a massive foundation of discipline and patience. That's 80% of it right there. And all of that supports a solid core of conviction. This workout we're talking about, it's designed to build all 3 of these things at the same time.
You know, when you practice this over and over, something amazing happens. It stops being just a neat trick or a mental model you try to remember. It actually becomes a core part of your investing philosophy.
And if you remember nothing else, remember this. We're taught to fear volatility, to run from it. But with this mindset, you don't. You see it for what it is, an opportunity to get stronger. The chaos, the uncertainty, that's not the enemy. Market volatility is your gym.
So I'm going to leave you with this. The next downturn isn't an if, it's a when. We all know it's coming. And when it gets here, are you going to fall back on that old panic and fear? Or are you going to roll up your sleeves, take a deep breath, and be ready to get in a good workout?